Fatty's is an American dive bar in Din Daeng that opened its doors in 2012 and quickly became known for its cheap beer and greasy burgers. In 2 years, Fatty's quietly broke into Bangkok's restaurant and music scene and has proven without trying that it's here to stay. We stopped by to talk to the owners behind this Bangkok institution that's really just your bar next door. What made you want to open an American dive bar in Bangkok?
I guess I didn't really set out to open a dive bar, but I wanted to open a place where we could all play our music and have a good time, and just like some sort of community place for all of the people I knew here. I've lived here a long time before I opened this place. So.
What made you want to start a business in Thailand?
Kae and I were both working a lot and working 2 different jobs and eventually working in 2 different parts of Thailand. And we had talked about it for a while, about opening our own place and saying to each other, we could do this better, we could have a great place, Eventually the opportunity arose and we got this place.
What do you think so far has been the most challenging part about owning a small business and a restaurant in Bangkok?
My experience as a Westerner doing that here, one of the most challenging parts for me has been just trying to put people in here to do the work. We started off as just the 2 of us, and staffing the place has been a great challenge.
Yeah, it's been hard at the beginning, but once we got people working together for us, it's kind of going up and up pretty well. Very happy to be part of it, and it's my own, and I don't have to work for anybody else except for myself, and that's great.
When you opened Fatty's, did you purposely set out to be the antithesis of the trendy Bangkok dining scene? And that's a quote from Coconuts.
Maybe in a way. I think that my personality has always lent to being the antithesis of any situation I'm in, because and that was in our minds, of course, to offer this stuff. And I always said, how come it's so hard to go to get a burger in this town without paying through the nose? And the whole idea of what this place is all about is it's about real music, indie music, real food, and a good price, and I grew up making this kind of food and hanging out in bars and drinking beer and eating garbage food and stuff. And that's what I was kind of looking for in opening this place.
You mentioned that one of the reasons you started is because you wanted a burger at a decent price. How do you manage to keep your prices low?
It's pretty low cost for renting a place here. We're not in Sukhumvit, Silom, where the price is very high at the beginning. So that's why we can keep it low than other people.
Precisely, yeah. Also, we always say that we are primarily a bar. A lot of our revenue comes from selling alcohol. The food, sometimes we can afford to take a loss on certain items on the menu to sacrifice making the money to keep a good product available,
Your burgers are reviewed as some of the best in Bangkok, and one review even actually called them legendary, which is kind of a high order. So what's the inspiration behind your popular menu?
Well, first of all, I'm going to go on the record and say that I have never made any claims about having the best burger in town, or I never set out to do that. The inspiration behind the menu for me is like I said, I like to eat junk food and sandwiches and burgers. Try to make it as true to myself and what I think it should be as I can,
USA Today's 10 Best listed Fatty's as number 5 on its 10 Best for Bangkok live music, and called Fatty's a Bangkok institution. You were listed on that list with other venues that have been in Bangkok for decades, like Brown Sugar and Saxophone. How does it feel to have Fatty's on a list along with those venues?
I didn't know that until right now. If I could see the list, what you just mentioned is almost surprising to me, because if we were listed alongside places like Brown Sugar and Saxophone, I say thanks. And I think that what I've done with the music here has been just about me inviting bands that I like out here and my friends who are in bands, and keep it real, keep it original. And the whole scene of Bangkok's cover music and, you know, hotel bands and soul bands and all that stuff, playing these standards. I set out to be the antithesis of that. And that's, you know, that's what I keep trying to do.
As a small business owner, why is supporting local bands important to you?
I think that the music industry in the world and in this city especially is overrun by commerce and baloney and not real music. And supporting real bands, you know, kids that just want to play, that are writing their own music and stuff, is huge for me, because I think not enough people are doing it. You know, I'm just trying to shepherd some kind of a scene that's, you know, the opposite of that gives these kids a place to play and somewhere to feel like they can be honest about their own songs and what they're trying to do. You know.
What's your secret to running a successful restaurant in Bangkok?
We are not like other people. We don't try to make like a lot of profit. We just want to be like a living room for other people to come and enjoy and keep coming back.
I think that's it. And I honestly believe that that's exactly the recipe for our success, because we are not business people. We're not entrepreneurs. We're not looking around the corner for the next thing to make us money or whatever that is. You know, we spent all of our life savings on opening this place, and opened the doors and said, I hope this works, because we've got no more money. You know? And we don't do any advertising. We never really did set out to be a restaurant that was well known. I mean, even now, most of our clientele is our neighbors, and we happen to be very lucky in the location and the fact that we are right next to a heavily populated area by expats, you know, and we're in the middle of town, kind of. So a lot of neighbors, a lot of, you know, regular folks, a lot of people who come in here, they come back again and another time, because they feel like this is part of their community. It's part of their thing. They discovered us.
Well, thank you so much for introducing us to Fatty's and showing us around. This is Jess with Thai Law Forum.